Good evening, all, and welcome to Security Operations Management Semester 1. You're all very, very welcome. I'm sure some of you have done plenty of courses in the past. This is slightly different, I suppose, with the way the ETB are rolling this out. Pre-records, which you can listen to at any time. They're normally released on a Tuesday afternoon. And then we have a live webinars on Wednesday evenings and face-to-faces twice per module. So I hope you all enjoy this. My name is Eddie O'Hara. My contact details, if you need to contact me for any reason at all with regards to the course, info@securetraining.com, my phone number is there. I'm sure that I'm going to get to know you all as we go through this this course and this module. So we'll just get started and see how we're going. So as I mentioned, so pre-recorded webinars are normally released Tuesday afternoons. But you can, once you go onto the Moodle, you can view them and listen to them at your leisure, I suppose. Our weekly live webinar sessions are on Wednesdays between 1900 and 2000 hours. Discussion forum and daily email support. Again, that's all that information is on Moodle. The discussion forum and Moodle is a great tool. I hope you'll all use this. I noticed, I was on it today, and I've noticed that some of you are starting up your own WhatsApp group, which again is brilliant. But don't forget you have this discussion forum as well for everyone to use. We'll have 2 what they call face-to-face days per module. Now, at the moment, these face-to-face days are online. Normally, we do them on a Monday, starting at 10 o'clock in the morning, and we finish up around 4. It's a great day to get things done, I suppose, when we're all together and we have more time to discuss things. Our first one is on the 11th of October. So you have assessments for this module, or for this module. You have a portfolio which carries 50%. And you have skills demonstrations, which also carries a 50%. I'll get into those in a couple of seconds for you, okay? Okay, so what does personal and professional development mean to you? The aim of personal and professional development is to help you manage your own learning and growth throughout your career. It is important that you continue to learn and develop to keep your skills and knowledge up to date. So the portfolio, so this is something that you'll be doing throughout this module, okay? So you'll be adding to it all the time. And there's 5 parts of it, your portfolio. The first part, personal analysis and planning, and that carries 10 marks. Time management, again, carries 10 marks. Delegation, 10 marks. Stress management, 10 marks. Professional goal setting and planning, 10 marks. A total of 50 marks for that one, or 50% of your overall marking. There are 2 options then for your skills demonstration. They both have equal marks. So a presentation, which would last 30 minutes, or an interview, which would also last 30 minutes. Now, as we're getting on through the course, we'll discuss these in more detail, okay? Excuse me. So the learning outcomes for this module are learning outcome 1, evaluate the principles and practice of personal and professional development. Learning outcome 2, identify the personal qualities and skills needed for effective participation in a chosen job or organization, to include opportunities for further personal development and associated action plans. Learning outcome 3, assess the role and practice of time management to include aids and strategies to handle difficult problems, contingency plans and methods of implementing and evaluating a solution. Learning outcome 4, research and processes of problem solving and decision making to include different approaches, strategies to handle difficult problems, contingency plans and methods of implementing and evaluating a solution. Okay, learning outcome number 5, analyze the uses of goals or objectives to include their characteristics, the role of planning and prioritization, a range of tools and strategies to assist with achieving personal, civic or vocational goals or objectives, and the role of review and evaluation. Learning outcome number 6 then is evaluate how organizations manage change to include information, communication, analysis of the forces behind change, motivating staff and other partners, and handling reactions to change. Learning outcome 7, determine strategies to resolve personal or interpersonal conflict to include an understanding of different personalities and how they react to conflict, common causes of conflict, and the role of assertiveness and cooperation in conflict resolution. Learning outcome number 9 or number 8, link goals or objectives to available budgets and financial plans to include periodic review and adaptation of resources to plans. And learning outcome 9, delegate tasks to others to include appropriate planning, identification of skills and strengths in others, and review and management of any issues arising. Learning outcome 10, respond appropriately to feedback and constructive criticism on personal performance. Use strategies to recognize and cope with stress, setback, and workplace pressure. And learning outcome 12, reflect on your own personal and professional development to include goal or objective setting, action planning, implementation, ongoing review, and personal initiative. So we have 12 outcomes, and normally what happens is we do maybe 1 to 2 of these outcomes per week. This module is 9 weeks long. So between the learning outcomes, the pre-records, the live webinars, and the face-to-faces, we should get through it no problem, with plenty of time at the end of the module for a little bit of recap. Now, like I said at the very start of this, my contact information is there. If you have any concerns, any queries, any questions, something that you're not sure of, feel free to contact me at any time. Well, within reason. I don't accept phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning. For those of you who work night shifts, okay, save it till the morning. Or send me an email. I'll answer when I wake up. Okay, so learning outcome 1. We're just going to get straight into it, guys, okay? Learning outcome 1. Evaluate the principles and practices of personal and professional development. Learning is a lifelong process. We never really arrive at an endpoint. The journey is the reward. The more we grasp this, the easier life gets. Most of the suffering in self-improvement, and arguably in life, comes from the fear of failure and the frustration with where we are versus where we would like to be. Yet the more we focus on our anger and fear, the more we sabotage our personal development and miss out enjoying the present. No matter where you are, don't let your goals become a burden. Remember that change doesn't happen overnight, and to celebrate the small wins whenever they come. So basically what we're saying here is we are afraid of failure, and the frustration, it'll get to us at times. We see where we are now, but we also see where we want to be. Now, you need to visualize where you want to be. You're in that whatever goal you set yourself, whether it be, supervisor's role, manager's role, CEO's role, managing director's role, whatever it is, you need to visualize yourself in that role. Yes, I can do that. And this is what you need. And don't let the fear of failure, hold you back. I suppose you're, in a way, you're taking that first step, maybe with this course, or this is a fairly long course, and it's a big commitment. There's 8 modules. Each module is 9 weeks long. So this is going to take us up until, I think it's next June 2022 is when we'll be finishing up this. There's a lot in it. There's a lot of hard work. Don't fool yourselves there. There is a lot of hard work. Some of the projects, some of the portfolios you have to do may be difficult. But again, a little bit of hard work, it's not gonna harm you at all, and the rewards will be very gratifying indeed. If you start with what ifs, then you're onto a failure straight away. You should be saying, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can do that. And you'll get there. With everyone else that's on this course, everyone helps each other. And again, that's why I'm here as well, to help you on your way. I don't want anyone to fail this. It's not in my interest for anyone to fail this. So you start out at the very start, how you need to go on. I am going to pass this module. I am going to pass this course. I'm going to have my major award in security operations management at the end of this. And that's what you want. Is that the role you want at the end of this? You want to be operations manager for, a security company, I would imagine. Then yes, that's what you'll be. But you have to visualize that that's what you want. Whatever role you want, you need to visualize that's where you want to be. And this is going to help you. This module is going to help you. The rest of the modules then will get you there as well. Learning is all about change, and change drives learning. There are the two are inevitable and go hand in glove. Change imposes gaps between what is and what is going to be, or between what was and what is now. Change creates opportunities and imposes demands. In the workforce and other areas of life, change raises questions about readiness to take advantage of opportunities, or to face demands for different ways of behaving and interacting, and more demanding goals to achieve. Learning can bring about change by creating new capabilities and opening the door to new and unexpected opportunities. As such, learning is risky. It upsets the status quo, raises ambiguities and uncertainties. It also has the potential to empower a person to influence the future, providing choices that would not be available otherwise. So what we need to do is we need to embrace this change. Yeah. For some of you, it may be the first time, I suppose, back in education doing courses, and it will take time to adapt. Again, don't let it phase you out. You'll be surprised how quickly you will adapt to it and just get into it. It's very, very easy. Don't worry about it, okay? And like I said, learning is risky. We have to take out the negativity, okay? We need to stop saying the what ifs. That's what we need to do. Stop saying what if this, what if that. The basic premise of long life learning is that it's not feasible to equip learners at school, college, or university with all the knowledge and skills they need to prosper throughout their lifetimes. Therefore, people would need continually to enhance their knowledge and skills in order to address immediate problems and to participate in a process of continuous vocational and personal development. The new education imperative is to empower people to manage their own learning in a variety of contexts throughout their lifetime. Again, there's a lot to be said for the academic learning that you do. But again, you cannot beat lifetime experience as well. Both of these things go hand in hand, and it gives you, it does the lifelong skills or the work skills that you've developed throughout your working career. They enhance the academic credentials that you may or may not have. Both go hand in hand. So you may not have a lot of, say, formal schooling, but you have a lot of lifetime work experience and work knowledge. Sometimes that can be invaluable. Throughout life, changes occur that are large and small. Small changes provoke incremental changes in behavior. They force us to adapt. Indeed, we learn to adapt to these small changes almost unconsciously. We develop routines that work and apply them as coping mechanisms for managing change. Usually, behaviors that work in one setting apply equally well in another setting or a different situation, perhaps with minor adaptations. However, when we are thrust into a totally new situations, transitions that are unfamiliar and uncomfortable, we learn that new behaviors and skills that lead to transformational changes. If we fail to learn and fail to make the transformational change, we are likely to be mired in the past, perhaps stuck alone on a plateau where others move away and ahead of us. Or worse yet, we face loss and a life of self-doubt or unhappiness. Again, it's always going back to the what ifs. What if I do this and fail? But what if you do this and succeed? What if you decide not to do this and one of your colleagues decides to do it and passes and gets that dream job, that job that you've been dreaming about? So you have to, sometimes you have to push the fear aside and just get stuck in. You're not, otherwise you're going to be, you're treading water. You're not going to move anywhere. You're going to stay in that position. You may or may not be happy in the role you have now at the moment. You may want to improve it. Self-improvement is a brilliant thing. Everybody should want to improve upon themselves, whether it's personally or professionally. And that's what all this module is about, is to help us to do that, to develop ourselves on a personal level and on a professional level. One enhances the other. Okay, let's take it there now. Okay, change in learning occur throughout our lives. They occur in work and career. Indeed, we spend our early lives in educational settings that give us life skills, but ultimately prepare us for a career. The question is whether we also learn how to learn so that we are prepared to face change and create positive change for ourselves and others. Adaptive learners are prepared to make incremental changes. The generative learners are ready for transformative change. They seek new ideas and skills to experiment with new behaviors and set challenging goals for themselves that bring them to new ideal states. Transformative learners have the skills to confront and create frame-breaking change. For them, change is the process of recognizing gaps, setting goals, establishing a learning plan, and maintaining motivation for carrying out the plan to achieve their goals. The types of learners that we have, okay? So we have 4 different types of learners. We have visual, auditorial, tactile, and kinesthetic. So visual learners need imagery to grasp a concept. They are very typically detail orientated and get a lot from watching demonstrations. So, they watching something on a video or a recording or something that's how they learn. Auditory learners then learn through sound. They need to talk things through a few times in a conversation about a subject to really get it, or they listen. They may be they could be doing something else. They could be writing something, but they're listening. That's how they're getting in the information in. Whereas visuals, they get it through the eyes. Auditory, they get information through the ears. Tactile learners then get revelation through physical touch and must use their hands for something to sink in. So again, this would be, a lot of people, a lot of, say, apprentice workers, mechanics, carpenters, painters, people who use their hands to do their work. That's how they learn, by actually doing it, touching it, feeling it. That's how they learn. And the last one then, the kinesthetic learners, they must use their whole body to maximize efficiency to get and get a lot from role play. So the role play, it's like all other 3 roll into this last one. They use visual, auditorial, and tactile, the role playing, and that's how they learn. Which one are you? You learn, I suppose, as we go through this module and this course as to what kind of learner are you. Here's why this matters. You must be a learner in order to be successful, and the faster you can learn, the better. Knowing how you learn will tremendously help you in your personal development. So learning how you learn is important, okay? Working on strengthening your areas of weakness is all well and good, but to make sure you're spending the majority of your time and energy on your strengths. Find people who are strong where you're weak and partner with them. Delegate as much of the work that drains you to others as possible, then focus on your unique gifts. Remember that personal development is about becoming your best self, not somebody else. You're not supposed to be good at everything. That's why we need teams. So, again, you don't want to be somebody else. You need to be your best self. I know a lot of this sounds very cliche, but that's how it is. Personal development, it's all about you being the best that you can be. Again, not everybody's the same. I may be good at one task, you may be good at another task, but put the 2 of us together, we're brilliant at the whole thing. And that's how it works. If you have a team and everyone is their, and I'm paraphrasing here, is their best self, then you're going to have an amazing team. And that's what you want, isn't it? You want a team around you who will give their best and be their best. For many of us, our definition of success needs to change. I've known a lot of people who are extremely wealthy and yet led miserable lives. Some of these people I still know, while others died young because they didn't take care of themselves and pursue something that was fulfilling. At the end of your life, you won't be thinking much about your money, but you'll be wondering whether or not you made an impact. And I suppose we all do, think about that from time to time. Did we make an impact? Did everyone know Eddie O'Hara? Did everyone know Sam Ward. I'm picking names from the list of contacts I can. Did everyone know Thomas Anderson, and so forth and so forth? This is what you want, and you would like to think that at the end of your life that yes, I made an impact. I touched people's lives in a positive way. I made their lives better by the things that I was able to do. We would all like to hope so, and we can do. It's all about how we live our lives, personally and professionally, and how we develop as a human being throughout our lives. The people who give themselves to a cause they believe in are the ones who lead the richest lives of all. These are the people we will remember long after they've gone. So focus on making a meaningful contribution to the world before anything else. Who knows, you may get rich in the process anyway. So there you go. Again, do we want to be known worldwide, after we're gone? It would be nice, but, known worldwide for the right reasons and not the negative reasons. Again, worldwide is a big one, but maybe in your own community. I remember him. He did a lot for this community, or, he was, he gave so much to the community. He gave so much to the club. He gave so much to the group. That's what you want to, that's, you've made a meaningful contribution to the world. Now, like I said, your world could be your community. And that's what we're talking about. So here's a very, very simple personal development planning cycle. So establish the purpose, the direction you want to go. So set your goal, right? Where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in next month? Where do you want to be in 6 months' time? Where do you want to be in a year's time? Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Where do you want to be in 10 years' time? Set yourself goals, not unrealistic goals, but manageable goals. That's what you want to do, and achievable goals. Don't set your first goal as this mad, unachievable goal. Baby steps, start small, and every time you reach a goal, reward yourself, celebrate it. Identify your development needs. So what do I need to do? How do I need to develop myself to get to my goal or my goals? Once I get to the first goal, great, I've done it. Now, what do I do? What do I need to do, or how do I need to develop to get to the next goal? Look at the development opportunities. So what opportunities is there going to be to help you develop? This course, this module, this is one opportunity. So look at other opportunities that may help you develop as you try to achieve your goals. Formulate your action plan. So what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Undertake your development. You've started that already. You started that today or yesterday, the 20th of September, 2021. You started your development by starting this course. You record your outcomes. So again, record things as you're going. Take note of things. When you reach a goal, record it. Record your plan to reach the next goal, and so forth and so on. Review and evaluate. So every time you get to a goal, you review and you evaluate how you got to it, and you evaluate maybe how you're going to get to your next one. And that brings us back around to establish the purpose and direction. So your next goal. And it keeps going and going and going until you get eventually to where you want to be. Building a knowledge base. The purpose of this phase is to acquire new knowledge and information and to build on a conceptual understanding of it. Activities in this phase might include goal setting, assessing needs, participating in interactive workshops, and forming a study group. Observing models and examples. The purpose of this phase is to study instructional examples in order to develop a practical understanding of the research. In this phase, one might participate in activities such as school and classroom visualizations, peer observation, using instructional artifacts, co-planning, and listening to or watching audio and video examples. Reflecting on your practice. The purpose of this phase is to analyze your instructional practice on the basis of new knowledge. Activities in this phase might include the use of journals or teacher-authored cases for collegial discussions and reflection. Changing your practice. The purpose of this phase is to translate your new knowledge into individual and collaborative plans and actions for circular and interstructural change. Activities might include action research, peer coaching, support groups, and curriculum development. Gaining and sharing expertise. Again, the purpose of this phase is to continue to refine your instructional practice, learning with and from colleagues, while also sharing your practical wisdom with your peers. Activities in this phase might include team planning, mentoring, or partnering with a colleague and participating in a network. So let's just break that down a bit more. So building a knowledge base. So what we said here, right? The purpose is to acquire new knowledge and information and build on a conceptual understanding of it. You might set a goal for yourself, assessing your needs, participating in interactive workshops, or forming a study group. And I have noticed, hats off to you guys already, that you've decided to set up your own WhatsApp group. Again, that's a study group. So well done to you guys on that. Observing models and examples. Again, the purpose, study instructional examples in order to develop a practical understanding of the research. You might participate in activities such as school or classroom visualizations. We will be doing that. Peer observation, looking at the person next to you, see what they're doing. Using instructional artifacts, co-planning, listening to or watching audio or video examples. Again, you're going to be doing all that as we're going through the module. Reflecting on your practice. So analyze your own instructional practice on the basis of new knowledge. You might include your journals or teacher-authored cases or a collegial discussion and reflection. And again, this is what we want. It's no point, when I'm doing the pre-records, okay, I'm the person that's doing all the talking, and there's no feedback from any of you guys. But when we're doing the live webinars and the face-to-face webinars, I expect, discussion. I don't want to be doing all the talking for the hour of the live webinars. I need interaction from you guys as well. I need to know what you're thinking. I need to know what it is that you want, where you see yourself. So the interaction is a great thing. Discussion is a great thing. You get so much more when people interact. Changing your practice. Again, the purpose is to translate your new knowledge into individual or collaborative plans. Again, the new knowledge you're gaining from each of these modules. How are you going to translate that into actions, that may develop your career. Action research, peer coaching, support groups. You already have your support group set up. Peer coaching, helping your colleagues along throughout this course. Action research. Now, remember, guys, this is a part-time course. You have 1 hour pre-record each week. You have 1 hour of a live webinar each week, and twice monthly a full face-to-face. The rest of the time you need to research. My job, right, is to give you information and point you in the right direction to go and further research what you need to know. I don't have enough time to give you all the information in the pre-records and the live webinars. There is a certain amount of self-learning you have to do here. But again, the online support that I give you every week, that's what it's there for. To ask me questions, to ask my advice, to maybe give you another avenue to go if you find that the first avenue is you've come to a dead end. I give you another avenue or point you in another direction that may help you. That's what I'm here for. Don't be afraid to use me. That's what I'm here for, okay? Gaining and then sharing your expertise. Again, the purpose to continue to refine your instructional practice, learning with and from colleagues, while also sharing your practical wisdom with your peers. Again, this may be team planning, mentoring, or partnering with a colleague and participating in a network. Remember, everyone that's on this course is working within the security industry. And I'm sure that if we put all the years that we have together, we would have a huge knowledge base within the security industry. Share your knowledge, share your practical wisdom with your peers, with your colleagues on this course. You'll be surprised of the amount of information. There may be certain parts of security that you're not sure about, but one of your classmates is proficient in it. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask me Don't be afraid to ask me to ask the questions. Again, that's what I'm here for. And like I said, there's so much more knowledge in this classroom between all of you, so much experience between all of us in this classroom. It would be a shame to waste it. SWOT. SWOT. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. We'll get into that now. SWOT. This important exercise can also be helpful for individuals, whether you're looking for a new job or trying to climb the corporate ladder. A personal SWOT analysis can help you achieve your goals. It is a creative method of self-assessment to help you assess where your career is and where it could go. So starting off with the S, the strengths. Don't be modest here, okay? How do your education, skills, talents, certifications, and connections set you apart from your peers? Write these things down. Do your own little SWOT analysis and be very, very honest with yourself, okay? How does your education, skills, talents, certifications, and connections set you apart from your peers? What would your boss or co-workers say are your strengths? What values or ethics do you have that your peers often lack? And what achievements are you most proud of? Again, don't be modest. This is a time to boast, right? You need to, blow your own trumpet here on this one, what your strengths are. W, your weaknesses. Okay, again, you have to be very, very honest with yourself here as well. Where are your education, training, or skills lacking? What would your boss or co-workers say are your weaknesses? What are your negative work habits and personality traits? And what do you avoid because you lack confidence? Again, you have to be honest with yourself here. There's no point in just putting down what you think somebody else wants to hear. This is for your own personal, I suppose, idea of where you are. You don't have to share this with anyone. This is just something for you alone. Write it down, look at it, and see, okay, this is where I'm weak. This is where I need to improve on. This is where I can improve on. And that's the key to it. Opportunities. So what trends are affecting your industry? In what areas is your industry growing? How could new technology help you advance? And how could your connections help you? So what opportunities are out there within the industry at the moment? What areas of the security industry are growing like wildfire at the moment? And any connection you do have, how could they help you? Threats. What obstacles do you currently face in your career? Who is your competition? Will new technology or certification demands slow your progress? How is your job or industry changing in ways that could affect your advancement? So, what do you see is currently, what's stopping you from maybe advancing in your career? What obstacles are blocking you? What's in your way? Who's your competition, or do you have competition? Is the competition yourself? Are you holding yourself back? Will new technologies or certifications demands slow your progress? Do you think you have the technology savvy to advance in your career? Do you think you have the right qualifications or certifications to advance in your career, or the lack of them slowing your progress? Is it the guy that you've been working alongside for the last year and a half? He's advancing. Why? Because he's a bit more tech savvy than you. Why? Because he's one or two more certificates than you. Is that what's holding you back? And again, the last one here, how is your job or industry changing in ways that could affect your advancement? So is the industry changing in ways that could affect your advancement? What's happening in the security industry at the moment that could affect how you advance through it? Again, is it new technology? Is it the new systems of work? You just can't wrap your head around them, or you're too long doing it this way that you don't want to change. So these are things that you have to look at. I would, this is something that you should do, guys, maybe this week. The start of this module, do a SWOT analysis of yourself. You're one person. You don't have to share it with anyone. Then at the end of it, let's see where you're at the end of it. Maybe do a new SWOT analysis at the end of this module. And maybe at the end of this, the first semester, obviously there's 2 semesters. Maybe at the end of the first semester, you'll do another SWOT analysis of yourself and see where you are then. You'll be surprised how it might have changed. All for the good, obviously, all for the good. Consider asking people who know you well and whom you trust, a spouse, friend, or co-worker, to review your completed matrix and provide honest feedback. Use your SWOT analysis to match your strengths with opportunities and take aggressive action. Take aggressive action in those areas. Or match your weaknesses with threats to discover situations you should avoid. You can also use the information to convert weaknesses into strengths and threats into opportunities where possible. So when you do it, have a good look at it and see, okay, these are my strengths. How can I, use my strengths with opportunities that may come up, and help me. And again, your weaknesses, match your weaknesses with threats, and, convert your weaknesses into threats and your threats into opportunities. So you want to revert, you want a list this long of strengths. You want, weaknesses that much. Opportunities you want big. Threats you want little. Now, remember, we all have strengths, but we also all have weaknesses. Every one of us has a weakness of some sort. Opportunities, there's opportunities all around us. But like we said previously, sometimes we're afraid or we lack the confidence to grab this opportunity with both hands. We say, no, I'm not quite. How many times have you seen jobs advertised that you would really, really like, but it's yourself holding you back? You say, no, I don't think I'd be able for that, or I'm not qualified enough for that, or this or that. We're constantly holding ourselves back. Whereas if you apply for this job, who knows what might happen? You might be surprised. Your lifelong skills, your career skills, just maybe enough to get you that dream job. And when you have that dream job, then you use that opportunity to build on your strengths, to make you an even stronger person, an even better person, and even a more confident person. And that's how you do it. We've all done it. We've all sat and looked at that job, that the one that we really wanted. No, I won't get it. I'm not qualified enough. And someone that you've worked with, just as qualified as you, or even less qualified, applies for it and gets it. What does that do to you as a person? How does that make you feel? Do you feel like, I should have done it, or best of luck to him. He was better than me anyway, and all that kind of thing. This module is about. It's about you as a person and developing yourself personally and professionally. If you see a job advertised, and if that's what you want to change the role you're in now and develop yourself to get that ultimate job, that dream job. Then when these, once we've gone through all these modules, and at the end of this, or maybe even before it, because each module that we do carries its own certification. So you, at the end of this module, and I'm not going to say if you pass it, but when you pass it, and I'm sure all you will be aiming for distinctions. You get a level certificate, level 6 certificate in personal and professional development. The next module we do, I'm not sure what it is after. I know we're doing conflict management, we're doing business management, we're doing leadership. So we do leadership. Again, at the end of that module, you will get a certificate saying, you distinction in level 6 distinction in leadership, level 6 distinction in business management, and so forth and so forth. And then once you have both semesters done and you've passed all the modules, you get a major award. Now, the level 6 cert you get from each module is a minor award, but when you combine them all at the end of the 2 semesters, it's a major award. And that's something not to be sniffed at. Trust me, there'll be a lot of hard work goes into this, a lot of study, a lot of research, but it will be worth it at the end of it. And when you're going for the next time, then when you apply for that dream job, you have all these certificates and this big major award. This is what I have. This is what I can bring to your company. This is what I can bring to your organization. Your company needs me. And you'll be confident enough to say that at the end of this entire course. And that's where we all want to be. We're all on this course for a reason. Whether it's you just like learning and you just want to develop yourself, you're happy enough in the role you're in, or you want to develop yourself to get that dream job, that job you've always wanted, that career path that you always want to go. You want to be in management, you want to be in senior management. Then you're this is where you're taking your first step. So at the end, so each week, what I do to you guys is I email you all a question. Now, I would hope that you would all email me back before Thursday. I would probably send this email out to you now, guys, tomorrow. And a question, and it'll be based on what I've discussed tonight. And a lot of times it's just to see if you are listening to me tonight, okay? So the question will be on something that I've covered tonight. The answers, they're not going to be, paragraphs and paragraphs long. It's normally just a couple of lines in an answer. That's all it is. So it's not any big deal. And again, if there is any help, if you guys need any help, or you have any suggestions for this module, again, like I said at the very start, email me or phone me. My email is on this PowerPoint. It's going to be on every presentation I do. It's also on Moodle, so don't be afraid to use it. I know some of you have started using Moodle already. I know since there, and it's brilliant. And I hope you continue to use it. Some people will get involved in your WhatsApp group, other people won't. I don't want anyone to feel left out. That there's 30 people on this module, 31 including me. The thing about Moodle is everyone has access to it. So if somebody puts up a suggestion or somebody puts up a question that I might not have the answer to. Now, remember, I don't have the answers to everything. I don't know everything, and I never say I will, because none of us knows everything. But what I will say is put it up on Moodle. Someone will have an answer. Somebody may have, like I said, between all of us, I know me personally, I've over 30 years experience within the security industry. I'm sure that some of you out there have just as much experience. But even if all 30 of us had 10 years experience within the security industry, that's 300 years of security experience. That's a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, really, isn't it? So like I said, here's my number, info@securetraininglimited.com. My phone number is 086 342 6901. And like I said, on Wednesday evening, when we're doing our live webinar, I'll get to know you all eventually. I'm not going to ask you all to introduce yourself, because that'll just take the whole hour of the live webinar. But I will get to know you all as we're getting through the course, and I hope to get to know you all very, very well, and that we'll become, we'll all become friends throughout this. We're going to be, talking to each other, listening to each other for the next 12 months. So I'm sure we'll all get to know each other very, very well. Our characters. We'll have the funny guys, we'll have the serious guys, we'll have the jokers, we'll have the messers, and it's all good. We need a vast personalities. We need a lot of personalities. There's big personalities, there's not so big personalities, but we all count, okay? And I want to hear from you all. I don't want it to be where it's just the same couple of guys every week doing all the talking, or the same couple of guys who only have their mics turned on or their cameras turned on. I want everyone to get involved as we're going through this. Okay, everybody needs to get involved. It'll be better for everyone if they do. The portfolio, as I said, that is going to be released to you. I'll probably do it when I'm talking to you on Wednesday night. It's going to be released to you, so you do it as we're going through the the module, there'll be, there's 5 different sections to it. Personal analysis and planning, as I said, time management, delegation, stress management, professional goal setting and planning. Here's a question for you all. This is not your question of the week, by the way. Time management. It's a difficult one, isn't it? It's hard to manage time, especially if you have, I suppose, I won't say a stressful job, but maybe a time-consuming job. You lose track of time, and before you realize that the day is over, and you don't have half the things that you plan to do done. And this is where we hope to, this will improve on our time management. You set tasks, you give yourself a reasonable time frame for each task and get it done in that time frame. And that's what it's all about. Easier said than done, I know. Delegation. How are you at delegating people to do things? Do you sometimes find, you know what, I'll be quicker doing it myself? You can't do that either. You need to be able to delegate people to do things. Otherwise, those people will never learn how to do it, and it'll always be left to you. So you need to learn how to delegate it. Stress management. Biggest killer in the workplace, stress management. If you let it get you, it will destroy you. And the last one then, personal goal setting and planning. Again, this is where you need to do. Set your goal. What's your professional goal? And start small and give yourself a number of goals and give yourself a realistic time frame to reach that goal. 10 marks, 50%, you get 50%, you get, middle of the road marks in each one of those. Your video skills, you'll pass this no problem. I will say this about this entire course. It's not designed for anyone to fail. It's not designed for anyone to fail. It really is not. If you put the time and effort in, you will pass these no problem whatsoever. If you really, really want to do well and get distinctions all across the way, it's very, very doable. Some of the modules that we'll be doing, just up to 70% for your project. If you deliver a good project, you've a merit there alone, and whatever the second part then, you do that, then that brings you up to distinction straight away. So, it's very, very achievable, guys. Distinctions in each one of these modules it's very, very doable. It's not some unsurmountable task at all. It's very, very doable. So that's all I have for you guys this evening. I hope you enjoyed this module or this pre-record. It's the first of very, very many. I'm sure by the end of this semester or these 2 semesters, you'll be sick of hearing my voice. I hope you won't, but you never know. So I should talk to you all on Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. I'm looking forward to meeting you all and getting to know you all. So I'll speak to you all on Wednesday evening and enjoy your couple of days. I'll talk to you all soon.